It's Monday again. The day that tests our patience, it checks our tolerance for caffeine, and sometimes, or I can say most of the time, it also tests our sanity. Is it not? Last Monday's conversation was absolute fun when we had Aditya from the Pyramid Group join us and have that conversation. The conversation was part therapy, it was part stand up comedy, and it was 100% real talk. And today, we are back at it, diving into another round of unfiltered conversations from the middle of the workplace madness right here on the Monday Hangover Show. But, like I am here with two of my friends, and you know them already, right? Because I need friends and not just coffee to survive the Monday. So let's welcome them and then get started on our conversation. Let us put our hands together for my friends, Saurabh and Mithil. Join in, guys. Come on, quickly join in. Hi, Mithil, and hi, Saurabh.
Hi
Hello.
Saurav. Hi sir.
Hi, Nitin. Hi, Steps.
So, did we make it to another Monday? Rarely, barely, really?
I would say Esther, one of the reason now to see forward Monday is Monday Hangover Show.
That's amazing to hear, Mithil. What about you, Saurabh? How are you dealing with?
Absolutely. The blues have gone away, and the excitement is to have watch another episode of Monday Hangover.
So, that's the new productivity formula for us, is it not?
Totally, totally.
And,
Absolutely.
and that is why we are here, because we have a new productivity formula, joining the Monday Hangover Show to laugh, to learn, and also to confess our leadership crimes on the Monday Hangover Show. And now, when I talk about surviving the Mondays, our guest today has probably mastered the art better than anyone we know. And when you will see her, you will know why I say this. She's a famous face that we have. And I would not take much time, but I would ask Saurabh to tell us who our guest is today. Saurabh, go on.
All right. Thank you, Esther. So I'm still under the hangover from the last episode when we had amazing conversation with Aditya. But it's time to have another fun, quirky conversation with our new guest today in our second episode. And that is none other than Gauri Das. But let me tell you about Gauri Das because she has so much in her bag with so many credentials and accolades. But we'll start with here. Gauri Das is an engineer just like me, but she's also an HR professional, a double master's in human resources and psychology, and 17 years of HR strategy. Wow. Not only that, she's also an ICF coach and she mentors young students and young professionals. She's also listed as a mentor in IIT, an author of the book Power of Connections. She's the president of WICCI, the Future of Work Council, and she's a passionate coach who's working for women empowerment. We all call her the Possibilitarian, and she believes in it. She has so many accolades in her bag. She's the top 5 women HR leader. She's 100 under 40 award winner. She's the Economic Times award winner and top LinkedIn voice. Oh my god. I mean, this can go on and on and on. Passion with compassion is her mantra. So let us call Gauri on the stage and let's have an amazing conversation ahead.
Hi, Gauri. Welcome. We want to hear you. And for that, you would have to unmute yourself.
That's the
Yeah,
best
that's
conversation.
hangover.
Hangover.
And the first conversation that always happens during a virtual call. You are on mute.
Yes.
Thank you, Gauri. Thank you for joining us. We're so happy that you're with us.
Same here. And the name itself is so intriguing that I was like, I have to do it.
Yes, and that's exactly why we have named it like that, because I think all of us go through it. Whether we are in corporates, whether we lead organizations, or whether we are in those early, younger days where we keep snoozing the alarm uh, and beat the hangover, right? What say, Mithil?
Totally agree with you. I mean, Monday's tremors and Monday stress actually starts on Friday, and that's why we need special motivation, which we spoke also in Aditya, that yes, certain motivations are required for us to somehow reach till Monday, and then definitely caffeine helps to kind of cross over it. But yes, uh, we don't want to traumatize Monday more, but we want to make it much more better, and we have promised that we'll make it legendary, and hence the Monday Hangover Show.
Absolutely. And now, Uh, I remember the laugh that Aditya had last time when he spoke about his Sunday hangover and then the Monday hangover and the different drinks which brings in the hangover. And but today, when we're talking about a new Monday, that we have caffeinated our souls, I think it is time for us to get into the real stuff, the leadership stories, because we have an expert whom I can tell very openly that I'm in awe of her, to be very honest. And it's not new because everybody is in awe of her. Anytime we say Gauri, and then we say, how does she do this? How does she do all of this every day consistently? And I do not know where is she getting her caffeine from for doing this. And so that is why we need to get into those leadership stories, lessons, and the laugh to learn from the expert that we have today. And without taking too much time, I want to straight away jump into asking Gauri the very first question. Gauri, what does a Monday hangover look like for someone like you, who leads the HR, coaches leaders, speaks across so many places? You are working with the youth, you are working with the women leaders, and everywhere you are holding it so strong. How does a Monday hangover look like for you?
Yeah, thanks, Esther, and thank you so much for your kind words. So, for me, it's a slightly different thing. It is a different kind of hangover. I am super excited on Monday morning to be at work. But yes, it was not always like this. There were times when I had that hangover, but a lot of things I changed and I realized that how can I make Monday better. So for me, it's like sleeping at 10 p.m. on Sunday. That's a given. And if you do that, then you have a different kind of energetic hangover on Monday. So yeah, that's what it is for me.
But very honestly, Gauri, if I have to ask you, even if we sleep at 10 p.m., right, we still have that effect of Monday from Sunday morning only. And then we reach on Monday. Honestly, tell me how many coffees or even affirmations you need to even start your Monday.
Yeah, so for me, no coffees. I don't drink coffee, and I am not into alcohol as well. So hangover is not there anyway. But yes, that's how it is. But I would say yes, there was a time. So I will go back to that time and talk about it. Those were the times when I used to not get even Saturday. So it was not a Friday evening thing. It was a Saturday evening thing, and it was only Sunday, and it was super chaotic. Doing all the stuff at home, thinking of or planning the whole week, and then giving some time to yourself, which was the last priority. So yes, it was a complete chaotic, or in our terms, hangover thing. Uh, yeah, so that's how it used to happen.
No coffee. I have seen how disciplined she is, even when she eats on gatherings. I have seen that so many times. And so, my next question, we all know Gauri. as the Possibilitarian. We know it. Like, it goes with her name. We know Gauri Das less and Gauri the Possibilitarian more. Uh, and it's not just us, it is everywhere. I want to ask you, Gauri, what does it really mean in today's uncertain workplaces? What is this possibilitarian that defines you? And to be very honest, why I'm asking you this is because you move with that approach everywhere. So, what does that really mean in today's uncertain workplaces for you?
Yeah, absolutely uncertain, and that's how life also is. So I would say possibilitarian attitude is you are looking at future, you are looking at solutions. So it's like training your mind, and NLP, so you would connect that the way you train your brain or the way you model it, that's kind of responses it gives you. So it's now like if anything goes wrong, like you said, uncertain, or like I said, chaotic, it's more of where do I find a solution rather than who to blame or why did it happen. That analysis will happen later, but to start with, the first step is to have a calm mind and then to move on to the solution. Not always like this, it's not that 100%, I'm not a Buddha, but most of the times this is how it goes. And I have seen that when you bring in humor into these challenges, so anything goes wrong and you have the ability to laugh at yourself, nothing like it. The whole conversation changes, the whole perspective changes, and you also, your team at your workplace, people look at it that she's human, she's also one of us, and that's how they also approach with the open mind. And I think if we have calm mind, we are responding, not reacting. No uncertainty can beat us, so that's a possibilitarian thing.
How wonderful. But Gauri, you said you are not Buddha, but you have a Buddha, sitting behind you.
Yes. Inspiration.
You're catching the vibes.
Yes.
Slowly started to see a halo behind you now.
I can literally imagine it right now, even without. But
Nobody has described this Buddha like this so far. It can happen only in the Monday Hangover Show.
I totally agree. We didn't see that coming, Mithil. We really didn't see that
Seriously.
coming. So we will, when we talk about something or somebody who's following Buddha, we will remember Gauri, I think, for quite some time.
Yes.
With
Next
hello
time
or
you
without.
see that.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But you move around, Gauri, without that crowd, but you still move with calm. Uh, you just hold that calmly, and we know the kind of work, the kind of involvement and contribution you're doing consistently. For example, the women leaders group, which I always envy, the Navi Mumbai women's. I have said this loudly on social media also. Why can't you do it from Vashi to my city? So that's the kind of envy I feel about the fun in those pictures. And you carry it with so much calm, smile, and you don't look tired all through the day whenever we meet you. I want to understand that because you also talk about passion with compassion, and you carry that topic in your very persona. How does that philosophy show up in the decisions that you make, that the way you carry yourself, and always look energetic? I mean, because at the end of the day, I do not look like how people know me. I'm like quirky. I'm irritated. Don't make noise. Don't ask me this question.
And then suddenly you're like, yes.
Yeah.
On screen, yes.
Yes. That's exactly, and that is why we want to know this. because everyone who talks about Gauri is like, they really, really, and I'm not just saying this because she's our guest here. We've been sharing this conversation every single time. Every time that I have met Gauri in the so many years that we know each other, we always meet as if we're just talking every day. And it's so easy, the calm which you bring. We want to know it, Gauri. Probably someone can use it for that hangover which they feel, and they have coffee and they use the Sundays for another drink. Tell us the secret.
Yeah, I think that's your aura, Esther.
It is on you, Gauri. We want to know about your secret. You can't hide.
Yeah, because nothing happens one-sided. So it's your love for me, your pinky promise for me that makes it happen. Yeah, but I think meditation has helped me to a large extent, wherein I have realized that I mean some calmness has come in without any notification or any message. Things have started moving in the right path. And second, I realized that there is no place for us to think that we can do the best or we know the best. So having that mindset that you are curious, you are always learning, that makes you connect with people more. Because if you feel you have something to learn from others, and definitely from you, Esther, I always look forward to that. Even if you just observe people, and that's what I learned in my psychology also, that even if you look at people with observation also, you are learning. So more you connect with people, more energy you pick up, right? So those times, probably I am ambivert, but yes, I do have times like you where I don't want to connect with people. There are times when I would be like, just let me be alone, and that's what. But yes, that's not very frequent. I'm sure same case with you as well. So yes, I think it's a combination of meditation, having that thought process that I have to respond, and also learning from others. And I get so much love from everyone, so I look forward to that.
That's so beautiful to hear from you, Gauri, because every conversation is so enriching whenever we connect. But I do
Yeah.
not want to make this conversation about you and I. So I would ask Mithil to ask another question because he's smiling, he's seeing, and the observation, right? He's observing. So, Mithil, it's your turn to ask Gauri.
Surely. We have Saurabh also as an engineer. Gauri, you are also an engineer. And I had
Yes.
many friends during their engineering college time. Most of them were philosophers and most of them spoke about psychology. But of course, that psychology came after something else, and by speaking to certain people at certain hours. But then, as Saurabh is also, always says, don't angry me, because he's an anger management coach, and especially for men's coach is what I say. So he has, taken that engineering concept of psychology ahead into bringing into anger management. And something similar I see in you also, Gauri. You have also taken it. So from engineering, you evolved to HR, and from HR you also brought psychology. What do you think was the biggest mindset shift you had personally, which made you evolve? I mean, we still have to reach to the pedestal who is sitting behind you. That's the ultimate goal, Buddha. But still, before that, what your level you are, how you reach that?
Yeah, I think the understanding that everything, all power is within, and all answers are within. So I realized that anything to change, I have to start with myself. So the formula that I have now is self awareness. Go within, understand that, and that shifts a lot of things in you, because then the focus is within. Then you are not looking at world from victim mindset. You are looking at yourself with a lot of empowerment, that whatever I want to do, I can do, because all power is within. So once you start doing this awareness thing or annual exercise, like when I did it for the first time, I included my family as well, my spouse and my daughter as well, and some of the responses that I got. So from 1 to 10 rating, my daughter rated me for a lot of parameters at 2, 3. So it came as a shock, but she was able to tell me with example what did I do, which is not in line with what I tell. So she told me in very clear words and with examples that this is what I'm trying to project, but I'm not that. So this started as an annual exercise where I was given executive coaching for the first time, and I'm thankful to my organization for that, because that shifted a lot of things for me. So that was the first thing, and then self acceptance. The more I started learning from those 26 360 feedback, more I started hating that, oh, this is how I am. But then the coach was there to guide me, to tell me that, okay, this is how you are, but you can always develop yourself, you can always improve yourself. And then self leadership. So once you understand the concept of empowerment from within, your self awareness, your acceptance, the next step is taking charge of your life. So I would say this was the biggest shift for me, because it's changed the center of everything for me, right from looking at my boss or my manager or somebody at home that they will help me grow. I realized that I have to take charge. So
So awareness, I understood, and this was a perfect answer, Gauri, coming from the mouth of an engineer, because the professors also says sare answers to andar hai, andar jhaak ke dekho, go within, you will have all the answers. Right?
yeah.
And from there you became an HR, and what you just said, I am scared right now, because as an HR, you did an annual review with your family, and it was like a cross table, review where your daughter also gave points. My wife is also an HR head. Now I'm scared. Will I be also getting an annual review?
आपका तो रिव्यू ऐसे ही हो जाता होगा.
That is not annual.
Oh,
This is a regular. Every day Mithil gets the
that's
same.
every day. That's an everyday review. End of the day review.
End of the day review.
You don't need annual process.
Totally, I agree with you. Yes.
That
Saurabh.
is.
Yeah, I think engineers are gifted that way, Mithil, right, Gauri,
You're born
to
psychologist.
break down things.
True.
You were born to change the psychology of others, but when you enter into HR, you use that for within also, is what I feel. But on a serious note, it takes courage to take points and use it productively from the family members, because I think we hurt our closest ones the most. We are the best self,
Yes.
like yes
Yeah.
is me, but at home when I am irritated and this, it takes courage, and I think you have beautifully used it. I do not know how much of that review I will ask from my family members, but I will start doing it in bits so that I can slowly learn to accept that. I think that is an eye opener, Gauri, and one of your secret mantras, which I am noting it down for myself.
All the best. Be ready for a lot of drama. But then in my case, I had a good coach, and he ensured that he knew that this is coming. And he said,
Coming.
only thing you are allowed to tell them for next 7 8 days, until you meet me, actually, until you meet me for the next session. Thank you.
Okay, I take that point also, but I will bring it to Mumbai, to your place.
So he said, if you're allowed to speak more than 2 words, then the purpose of this exercise would be lost.
So true.
And
So very true. Yeah.
Thank you,
Wow.
Gauri.
Thank you, Gauri.
So that's what I told my husband and my daughter. Thank you. अंदर तो ऐसे आग लगी थी. But
Inner peace.
Amazing.
inner peace.
Like
But
Nico
that
Panda.
that transformed me, yeah, to a large extent.
Yeah, I think when you were not able to vent out or react, probably we start processing and finding that how much of it is true. And I think that's where we start, because once or twice it's okay, but if you're making it a regular process of introspecting with those, with no opportunity of saying anything more than those two words, then I think we need to do something. So wow, I'm taking this back with me and I'll implement slowly, is for sure. And everybody who used to ask, Gauri, how does she do it? In fact, I recently had a conversation and said, oh, we were talking about after a session that so much is there, so much is there, so much to do, and then I said, then suddenly we saw a LinkedIn post where Gauri's post was there, and we were like, but how does she do it? And we're like, yeah, wow, kaise karti hai? How does Gauri do it? And so we have those answers a little bit so far, and we'll ask, let Mithil and Saurabh take it over. Let's get some more answers, guys.
Right. So when we talk about such things, Gauri, I wanted to ask you. Uh, you are someone who wears a hat of mentor, HR leader, speaker. Even we've seen you a lot of times speak in various events. How do you avoid the burning out while at the same time enabling yourself?
Okay, so I guess some is inbuilt because one of my top five strengths, the Gallup Strength Finder, is execution. So I'm always in the on mode that I want to do this, and then I have targets. I plan my calendar in advance, so the sessions are booked a long time in advance, and then I ensure that on Sunday I'm not doing anything because that's one day which I give to myself. There, if I have to meet someone, then it's okay, but not in terms of doing something which is related to work. I meet people like Esther mentioned about Navi Mumbai. So many of my group members, like 8 or 9 of them, are within 2 kilometers vicinity. So sometimes we meet just like that, and I think that is also a source of energy because when you meet people who are very positive, who are full of energy, you get that energy. So that is point number one. The other one is avoiding burnout, family support. They are a pillar of strength, definitely, and I think nothing without them. So, very lucky to have a very good family, and at the same time, very good colleagues, very good manager who has always encouraged me, and my team also, because if they are not doing things right, you have to get involved. So, I don't have to do that much, and that's why I'm able to do other things. So it's God's grace that I have very good people around me. That is second thing. And so yeah, these three things I would say. One is I believe in closing things. So it's very
Yeah.
easy to start something, but I am of the view that unless you close something, you don't have to jump onto the next thing. That is point number one. The second one is inbuilt execution, and I think that also comes from the philosophy that you have to close stuff, whatever you have started, and then so I feel happy when I am able to close things, and then a very supportive environment, and also the group of people with whom I hang out, they are very positive, they are doing so many things that I feel like I'm doing nothing. So that's always inspirational. These four things I would say.
So Gauri, you said about the work mode on most of the times, and then on Sundays where you rejuvenate, you connect with
Yes.
other members and kind of uh, recharge yourself in the off mode. But if I, in a very quirky way, Gauri, just think now, since the AI is also in workplace, if you had to redefine HR for the future, what would the acronym stand for?
Interesting. I never thought about it.
See, HR right now is human resource. But now in the future, if you want to change that acronym, what will HR stand for?
Probably human resistance. You may
For AI. For AI.
I
because the
think we're going through
way
that.
For AI.
sorry.
I think we're going through that phase exactly.
Yeah, because the way it's yielding results, what
AI.
we got and what we got.
Absolutely. But then, Gauri, you being part of Wiki, you are into HR, you are an ICF coach, and you're doing so many things. Where do you see AI fitting in the HR? Is it as an enabler, or is it as a disruptor, or technically showing a mirror that what is broken in the workplace or also in the organization or associations? What do you feel?
Yeah, I think a lot of support. I would say it is an enabler. It depends where which stage you are in. So in HR, you will see people at organizations also and HR professionals themselves as well. They are at different stages of that spectrum, which we call HR, where one side it would be only administrative, and the other end would be a lot of strategic and value addition to business. So I would say if you are at this side and you are only doing admin, then it becomes a disruptor for you. But if you had already taken some steps, it becomes an enabler. And wherever, even practically, we are using it, it has been very, very supportive. Yes, there are flaws, and there will always be certain things for which we will be required, right? We are not going to outsource our brains to AI. So I would call it as enabler. A lot of places, the first and most critical one is removing the administrative hassle from HR department so that they get more time. Now we are getting many. Earlier, it used to be said that only those who can't do anything else come to HR. But now we are seeing brilliant minds coming in HR, engineers coming in HR. So now that we have AI, we have time, we can do a lot of things. The second thing is about data utilization. That also is very helpful through AI if you do it. And that gives you a lot of insights, that gives you a lot of answers. I would say, if you ask the right questions, how to support or how to enable business. So a lot of things. I think each and every stage or each and every sub function of HR, AI is going to be very, very helpful. And I'm seeing it to be there in next 4 or 5 years, if not earlier than that.
Hence, human resistance.
Yeah, so if you don't, yeah, that's what disruptor. If you are at the other end of the spectrum, it becomes human resistance, and you will not be able to grow with it.
Nice. All right. So talking about enabling, let's enable some more quirkiness and spontaneity and fun now. So Gauri, before we move to our last segment, we are going to have a bit more fun with our rapid fire round. And you have to be very quick in the response. So here we go. All right. What's that one HR phrase which makes you roll your eyes?
We will get back to you.
Absolutely.
10 on 10 for that, Rogori.
Completely 10 out of 10. Lovely. All right. One leadership myth wish you would wish completely disappear.
Leader needs to have all the answers.
Oh, I agree.
Yeah,
I agree
they don't
completely.
need to. Yeah.
Absolutely, absolutely. So, coffee, compassion, or chaos? What fuels you the most?
Compassion.
We knew this
Nice.
answer. Saurabh, this was an easy one. Ask a more difficult one.
We'll change the question again. Right. A quote you live by.
Passion with compassion. So the quote, passion with compassion is my mantra, and I also say that there are only possibilities, there are no limitations, and that's why possibilitarian.
Absolutely perfect 10 on 10 again.
Thank you.
Yes. So, one thing which you think people don't know about LinkedIn.
So people use it as a job portal. They don't know that they can meet so good people on LinkedIn. Yeah. So what I
Yeah,
would like to say is a relationship started at LinkedIn can develop into a very deep bond, a very deep professional connect, and that's what people don't want to. They don't understand, and they don't want to understand how well the networking can be done on LinkedIn.
absolutely. I agree. I mean, it's more about relationship building, getting to know rather than directly jumping into a finding job role. Yeah.
Yeah.
The last one.
Okay.
If you had a hangover cure, what would it be?
Meditation. Without
And the health.
Hello. Hello. Oh, lovely, lovely, fun conversation. With that, now I will take put it back to my friend Mithil to take us to the last segment of this conversation.
Thank you so much, Saurabh. And yes, Gauri, I think proximity matters here because I knew that you will say meditation. I knew you will say compassion is passion, as your rapid fire rounds. So lovely. But you are an ICF coach. Have also mentored a lot of people. But what's the best piece of advice you have ever received?
lots, but I am picking up the best one. Yeah, so the best thing I have, best advice I have heard, received is working on your executive presence. Lot many times we focus on only our deliverables, but we don't think about how are we showing up. So the three components of our leadership presence or executive presence, which is how you look, because it says that it's just 5%, but I think the most important filter is how you look, then your gravitas and your communication. So can you take a stand? Can you you looking good for the role? So yes, communication and gravitas, and it what I have got to realize now that it changes the whole game for anyone. You may bring in data, you may bring in story, you may bring in everything, but if there is no executive presence, that trust would not develop. That people will not be able to immediately connect that okay, what she's saying would be true. You may have to put in a lot of efforts to do that. So focus on all three. Nothing wrong in working on your appearance, on your gravitas and communication. Of course, we know about it. But yes, even gravitas, if anything wrong is happening with anyone in the organization, are you able to lend a voice to that person? Even that counts as a leader. So one of my coaches, I have five coaches. One of my coaches advised me that this is one area where you need to continuously work upon.
Simply loved it, Gauri. And all the people who are either watching or listening this podcast episode, do share what was the best piece of advice you received from someone. Add it into the comments. Who knows, that piece of advice can benefit someone else. Do give it a try. But thank you so much, Gauri, for giving that particular advice. And one question that I always hated whenever I went to interviews, and I was never able to crack that, and I hope everyone knows that question, is where do you see yourself after 5 years? I never was able to crack it. And this was the after this question, the next uh, comment that used to come from the HR was, "We will get back to you." But today I get the opportunity to ask the same question, but in a different way, to an HR uh, leader. Is, if your younger self was could see you now, okay, what would she say?
Yeah. So this would be more so applicable for women. I think Esther would be able to relate well, and we have spoken about it sometimes that you don't have to be a superhuman. You have to be good at things, but you don't have to think that everything would be exceptional when it comes to what you are doing, because that's a mistake I did when I had two breaks in my career, and when I rejoined from the after the second break, I was like, I'm already behind the curve, and I need to put in 150% there. And at the same time, the house should be good, and my kid should be doing very well, and all of that. And that put me in a mode of uh, trying myself to be a superhuman being, and the result was not at all to count on. So that would be one advice, that do it at your pace, and don't get by what others will say. So that is it. I'm not saying feedback, I am a huge fan, and I told you there is a process, but I'm saying that every comment that comes your way, you cannot act on it. So yeah.
Totally, totally. So what to you, Esther?
That's so beautifully shared, Gauri. And I think your strength builds because a very genuine feedback is coming from a place, a safe place at home, where you've made your people as your strength, not just in the personal life, but the entire sphere of life. And I think that is one thing that I see has made you so grounded. You move with that presence. Uh, if I do not know if you all have met Gauri, but if you look at Gauri, the amount and years of experience that she carries, she moves as a calm, happy person. You will not see a designation moving when she comes, but she comes with her presence, smile, and the humor which she spoke about. She has her way of doing it subtly, and we laugh. We every time laugh and click pictures, and that's not easy to come by. And somewhere that Buddha and the meditation has really really worked wonders for you, Gauri. And so everybody who's listening, all I want to say is I hope you can pick something, because I have definitely picked up few things, and I will use it for myself to beat that hangover, not just on Monday but every day. And try to use something from this, because we're talking to somebody who's made a life. We have seen Gauri grow over the years, and she has become a refined, polished person. So make your Mondays more optimistic with the suggestions of the Possibilitarian, and not just functional, is what I want to say before we close. Thank you so much for joining us, Gauri. It was amazing to talk to you. We're doing it for the first time, so I'm super excited, happy, and some of them I will play and repeat. So thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you so much, Esther, Saurabh, and Mithil. It was fun having this conversation. Very rare. I love the format, and I love how we had a discussion talking about some life lessons, but with humor, and that's how I love it as well. So, total whosoever designed this or conceptualized it, kudos to the whole team. Yeah.
All the brains are here, Gauri.
Yeah, so congratulations to three of you. And this is the best way to learn, because learning from others' experiences is better. सब कुछ खुद के ऊपर ही क्यों कर रहे हैं, and that too if it comes packaged with humor, nothing like it.
A perfect engineer answer. So thank you so much, Gauri, and all the people who are listening to this episode. Hope you liked it. If yes, then do share it with your colleagues to overcome their Monday hangovers, and do subscribe so that each time when we bring new guest, that quirkiness, you get to have that power to overcome your Monday hangover. And who knows, a piece of advice helps you to maybe overcome your all Monday hangovers forever. But yes, one cure which Saurabh asked is do subscribe to Monday Hangover Show. That's your cure. Thank you.
And we will get back to you with another episode.